Let me tell you that if you don't know who this is, you are missing out on some good stuff. He is Larry Cornos, one of the most famous traders in history, and he created one of the most famous strategies that are out there, and this is the RSI2. This simple strategy has an average percent of a 70% win rate, and thanks to a unique feature of Forex Online, I've managed to take it up to an 80% win rate. But this isn't the best. During the video, you'll see a discount coupon code come up somewhere around here, so you can purchase Forex Online on a cheaper price. But let's start step by step and let me show you how to create a new project on Forex Online so you can see how you can optimize any trading strategy with this method. So let's start off on our dashboard, and basically we just need to come to new project, select the symbol. I'm going to be backtesting it on the GBP USD. So let's search for our pound versus the dollar, click on here, put Larry Cornos, and our deposit will be at 10,000, simulating a funded trade account, and our date is going to be the last month of 2025 to try out the most recent data we have. And this is a good aspect of Forex Online, that we have all the data always updated. So let's click on October, select first, that is a Wednesday. And now we got this, we just need to look at a time zone that is okay for me. You would have to check it out for your time zone, and the leverage is perfect. So the only thing we need to do now is create the project. And now we've got our project created. The only thing we need to head is to a time frame. In this case, I have tested it in the 15-minute time frame, and we need two indicators. We need the RSI, obviously, because it's called RSI2. So we'll search RSI above here, click it in, and leave it at a 2 period. Okay, this is the magic of this strategy. So we press apply. Now we've got our RSI down here, and another quick tweak that we need to do is come to settings, come to levels, and set the levels to 10 and to 90. Okay, because obviously being an RSI of 2, we don't want too many entries to happen, and if we leave it at 30 and 70, it is just going to give us an entry every 5 minutes. So that we're not interested in that, we're interested in the good entries. So now we've got this, we'll press apply. As you can see here, this is opened wider up. The second indicator that we need is basically the moving average. So let's click on the moving average, and of these we need 2. So one is going to be a 5-period moving average. This is going to let us be able to leave the trades, okay, because we're going to enter the trades with the RSI, and we're going to leave the trades with the moving average. So now we've got this. Let's press apply here. Now we've got our moving average, and the second one is basically going to be for the trend. So in the original strategy, what we normally did was basically go with the trend of this moving average, but I've done a small tweak to make this even more special for you, and so you can see that virtually any strategy can work, and especially if we go through the optimizer. Now we've got everything set up. Basically, what are we going to wait is for the price to come below the level of 10 or go above the 90 level, and when this happens and it is coordinated with the moving average of 200, then we can enter a trade and then leave the trade when the price closes above or below this 5 moving average. So let's first go to the London session. So we come here, London, open session, and now in the London session we basically can see we are above the moving average. So basically we are going to search for the retracements of the RSI. So we can see here it already happened here once. This was previous to London Open. So now we just need to wait for price to do the same again. There we go, price has gone up again. So now what we need to do is place our sell order. In this case, I'm going to go with 1 lot size, and this strategy does not require either stop loss or take profit, because basically we are going to leave the position when the price hits this moving average and no else. So we leave it even if we are in a loss or if we are in a profit. So now we know this, let's place our order, and we just need to wait for the price to hit the moving average. There you go, price is hit, hasn't closed below, now it's closed below, and here we have put 200 in profit. Okay, so that would be perfect. Now we just need to wait for price to do exactly the same again. There we go, price is above, we press our sell order, place order, and now just wait for price to do the same again. As you can see, we've profited another $74, and obviously this trading strategy has some risk. So here you must calculate your own risk and how much lot size your account can hold out, especially if you want to trade funded trading accounts. You need to see how much is the average and set an emergency stop loss. Okay, otherwise in some cases the price can move too hard, and obviously this can cause you a bigger loss than you wanted. So keep that in mind, and let's continue with this backtesting session. There we go. Price has gone above again of the 90 level, so we just press another sell order, and now we just need to wait for price to come back down. There we go. Get a nice shot there. Perfect. And for me, perfectly, that will be a day done. I've already made a 3.4%, so obviously for me this will be a day done, but for the sake of the backtest, let's continue a bit longer. And as you can see here, we had a huge massive move above, so we must be careful here because we have some news over here and some news over here. But let's continue with our backtest. Press sell and see if we get another nice take profit. As you can see here, the price went below, but it never actually closed below. In this case here, it's closed below, closed in break even virtually because it was only $9, so that is fine. And basically this is the strategy. And then we come to the end of the backtest. Let me show the metrics that are quite interesting. So we can see we've finished the backtest. Okay, we've passed the month. Now it is 3 of November. And if we come to analytics, we can see some interesting things. The first we can see is analytics in size, but we're not going to go there still. We're just going to come down just down here so we can see more or less the metrics that it's got. We had an 80% return. Now that is massive, with more or less a 10% drawdown in the account. And we had a nice 71% win rate. Okay, we made in total 51 trades. And if you come down here, we can see the calendar where we had basically the losing trades. So this would be like a big losing trade, and these were more or less medium. And here we can see all the winning days. That is quite a lot. But the most interesting thing is here is how we're going to optimize the strategy. Well, as you know, in Forex Online, we have analytics inside, and this is basically an algorithm that will check your strategy and tell you the things that you can do. And I was mentioned as well that this was programmed by a professional algorithmic trader. So it's basically like having him next to you saying, let's change this and try this out. So this is obviously massive because it saves you tons of time and it analyzes things that you maybe didn't even think of. So if we come here, we can see the strengths. Obviously we can look at the strengths and see what it says, like daily loss limit analysis, and it gives us here a resume of this. But obviously the points to improve is the most interesting. And as we can see here, it gives us some recommendations like try keeping risks below at 2% per trade. Obviously with this trading method, this is more complicated, so we can't apply this. We have another one here that says consider constantly increasing position after winning streak. So when I win 1 or 2 or 3 trades, it'll tell me basically when I should increase the lot size. If I click inside, I'll be able to see that I would have an improvement of a 10, an 18, a 37 or 35%, depending on how I up this lot size. But I'm not going to do this one. For this particular one, what I'm going to do is maybe try adding some more filters that could give us maybe more win rate, maybe, and consider moving maybe to a higher time frame. We're in the 15-minute time frame, but maybe in the 30-minute time frame we could get some better results. So let's see what else we have. Try using stop losses on every trade to manage risk. Obviously this strategy doesn't use stop loss because we can't apply this one. Try using based exit rules or trailing stop. This could be interesting. And try managing trades to achieve a 2-to-1 risk reward. Obviously this is virtually impossible because we don't use set stop losses. So basically I don't want to add too many, or it's going to be too confusing. So I think I'm going to add some of the filter and consider moving to a higher time frame. So now we're back on our fresh copy on Forex Online. As you can see, Larry Connors 2. And basically we are going to implement some things that we saw on the analytics inside. So first thing I'm going to implement is I'm going to change the levels of the RSI. So to add another layer of filter, as it said. So I'm going to come here to settings, come to levels. And in this case, instead of 10, I'm going to leave it at 5. So it needs to be more overextended for me to enter the market. I'm going to set this as 95. I'm going to apply this, and as you can see, it gives us a bit more accurate levels of entry. The next thing I'm going to change is I'm going to take the time frame to 30 minutes. So we start, the first backtest was on 15, take it to 30 because it said it as well in the analytics inside. And another thing, another small layer that I'm going to add is that if the price is trending much, I'm not going to enter the market because it might result in a losing trade. So combining all this and as well keeping an eye on the news, so basically we don't hit a hard news, I think we can get a much better result. So as first, let's go here, let's go to London Open, and let's see what we get. As we can see here, we got a setup here. So just basically going to wait for the next setup to happen. And there we go. We are above the moving average. We are above this moving average. Price is set here. So now let's enter our short position. We're going to go with the same one lot size, and let's see if we get some better results. There we go. $99 that we get here. Perfect. And now we finished the second backtest. We can compare the results side by side. So on this side round here, I have the new backtest, and on this side, I have the old backtest. The first thing that I want to show you is that we come straight below. We can see basically on our calendar that we have reduced the losing days. So obviously this can mean only one thing. We have increased our win rate. So now we know this, let's just go just a bit above, and we can see that our win rate, the new win rate, is now at 88% compared to the 71% that we had on the previous backtest. And obviously this is thanks to the layers of filters that I've added, especially not trading against a strong trend, and as well by changing the levels of the RSI. So I don't know you, but for me this is a massive improvement. And another thing that I want to show you here is that our net profit went from at 18% in 1 month, so that is already massive, but it boosted to a 26%. And I mean, just imagine being able to generate a 26% in only 1 month of trading. And a huge mention to the drawdown, because the max drawdown from the previous backtest was from a 10%, and we reduced it to a 6% and gaining more profits. That this obviously is a huge combination. But the best improvement that I see here is the profit factor. We went from a 2.26% to a nearly 5% in profit factor. And if you've been trading for a time, you know that this profit factor is out of the moon. And the best part is we can still come to analytics inside, and we can still optimize our strategy even more to get even more better performance. So if this video has much love, we can try and retest it again to see if we can get even better results. But now you've seen the results, let me ask you a question. How can you improve your strategy using analytics inside? Leave it down below in the comments and we'll be reading every single one. And the last thing I want to say that I hope you're all good. I hope you have a great week. I'm Jack, and I'll see you next time.